So, all right. So which do you prefer to go by? One, is it Sarah? Do you want me to call you Miss Gray? Do you want me to call you Raven? Do you want me to call you Hot Dog? I don't know what you want.
You can call me Raven.
I like that you have taken on a complete persona, and because here's the reason why. Is because my is your last name Gray or no?
Yes.
So my last name is Balls. So I got fucked over my entire life. People were like, what is wrong with you? What are you doing with your life? And well, people like, so when I started playing music, people thought it was a nickname. And they're like, why'd you call yourself Balls? And I'm like, no, it's not a stage name. It's my name. So I had to explain that every time. But I like Raven. I think Raven is it goes beautifully with your music.
Thank you.
So, I mean, I was listening, so I was showering today. So everybody that's listening, I do shower once in a while. But I was listening to your music when I was in the shower, and I was like, this is wonderful. And I was trying to like get in the mood because I know I was gonna interview you. And I was like, what genre? I hate like looking at the genres that are posted in the music. And I was like, what genre would I put her in if I was a person? And I was like, all right, so let me know what you think of this. But I would call Raven industrial funeral pop.
I like that.
Right?
Maybe even feral pop.
Feral pop? Are you okay? Yeah. Are you okay?
No.
Fair.
Not at all. Wait, what may I ask? What did you listen to?
So I pulled up your Spotify and I went right from Ember and then I just let it roll. I did, you know what I really like? The one you have with what's his face?
With Pair of Shadows.
Love it.
Okay, great. Yes. That EP, I'm very proud of that EP. And then the project I'm working on right now, oh my God, it's completely different than from what you've been hearing on Spotify. I'm so excited for you to hear it. But anyways, I'm glad that you like it.
I interviewed a band the other day and I was like, I feel like a proud dad because of all these like new goth children, if you may. I know you're not like super young, but I'm at that age now where I feel like I feel like I'm like putting all you guys under my wing and just being so proud of the upcoming and new like goth wave of what's happening. And it's really cool. Like, how do you feel about that world, the goth world, the industrial, the weirdos and things like that?
I love the weirdos. I am the weirdos. I think I don't know. There's something in me it's dark, but it's hopeful. And, you know, I've been through a lot and I've grown through a lot. And so, and I, for some reason, I don't know, I like black and all of that combined. I guess you could call me goth, but a lot of people, a lot of people are making some really, really great music. I love Chelsea Wolfe. She's one of my big inspirations. Yeah, she's awesome. So yeah.
So one of my friends mixed one of her new songs, and you know, to be honest, I knew Chelsea Wolfe as like this folk singer-songwriter, like that kind of vibe. And then my friend Dan Mausch, who is a mixing engineer, he's mixed like Avenged Sevenfold, Gojira, Ghost, things like that.
Oh, nice.
He's like, hey, I'm mixing this new project. It's this girl called Chelsea Wolfe, and I was like, that's weird. That's not down your alley. And he sent me her new stuff, and I freaked the fuck out. I was
crazy.
I was like, how are people making music this good still? And why am I not aware of it? And like, why am I under a rock? But I think, to be honest, I think you do really well on a Chelsea Wolfe tour. I think that really fits the exact vibe of what you are. I'm sorry if I'm like projecting that onto you of like,
no, you're not.
You should be.
I would love that. Yeah.
Come join us while we do a bunch of live stuff inside the metaverse, from live shows to live events. Honestly, we're going to be doing a bunch of stores inside the metaverse too, so make sure you subscribe now. Are you, so I saw you got touchy when I called you goth. Is it, so as a 34-year-old, like back in the day, goth was a very different thing than it is now. Is it like offensive to call people goth now?
It's not offensive at all. I don't take offense to things. I think a lot of people are too fucking sensitive nowadays, and I'm just not. No, I am goth as fuck, and I have been. You know, I was that way since I was a child. And you know, just yeah, just God, there's a fly that just went by. Anyways, yeah, no, not offensive at all. I think
because I feel like it's weird. Like now, when you call people goth, they feel like even the goth people are like, I'm not goth. Like I just like to wear black. And I'm like, fuck you. Like you're goth. Like it's cool. Like it's cool. It's cool because so you, as you know, goth is becoming, or at least being, the way that we are is becoming more mainstream. I have this conversation all the time, you know, with Wednesday and all this stuff coming out, and let's even say 50 Shades of Grey. Like people are like understanding our world a little bit more. And now it's like, I feel like I don't want it to ever not be. So I want it to be uncool and cool at the same time. And is that like, I feel like that's very like, is that hopeful, or is this like, it's such a weird construct of like where we're at in society. And I just want to like, hurl myself off a bridge.
No, same. I want to throw myself off a bridge every single day.
Yeah.
And it means that it's like, there's people who are goth or like the most cringe shit I've ever seen. I'm just like, go fuck off. You know,
as long as you're not doing a TikTok dance, you're all right with me.
Yeah. Well, you won't be seeing me doing that. Maybe like a cooking video, but like that's it.
Do you cook? Do you cook?
I do, yes.
Do you cook on TikTok, or are you just saying that?
No, I'm not just saying that. I have a video on TikTok. I just made butternut squash soup and it was delicious.
Listen, if you made a cooking show, I would watch it.
Okay, I'm gonna keep doing it.
I'm gonna say that. I'll even yell at Jack, and I'll just be like, listen, this is how you project and you make your artist go to the moon, is you give her a cooking show.
Yes. She was just talking about that. She was like, I'm gonna get you a cooking show.
I think that'd be great. And then, so did you ever see that one guy on TikTok? He has long hair. He cooks. He's like a chef, but he always curses and throws shit. Fuck.
No, I mean, I'm used to Gordon.
Oh, he's an interesting character.
He's very mean. I heard that that's just an act, though.
I heard that too. I heard he's a super sweetheart, and he just, I mean, as you know, as being an artist, and as do I know, is there's certain thing called media trained. And I feel like you live in LA, correct?
Yes.
I feel like most LA people are understood of media trained. And it kind of drives me nuts, because I think most people should just be themselves and be whatever they want to be, but then they understand like what sells, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So Gordon Ramsay is a very good specific of like, he's media trained, and he's probably the biggest sweetheart and will give you 19 hugs if you ever met him in person.
Right? I would love 19 hugs from Gordon Ramsay.
Me too. I own a restaurant. I own a goth restaurant in Pennsylvania.
Do you? Where is it and what is it called?
It's in Scranton, Pennsylvania. It's called Noir Dark Spirits. So if you guys are ever out here, I would love to have you guys for dinner. It's a gothic style restaurant where like all of our drinks smoke. I mean, we have crickets on our menu. We have, you can eat weird stuff. We have fried tarantula that is going to come on our menu soon that no one knows about except for you. So you guys definitely need to come visit.
Fuck yeah.
So I know from a birdie, I don't know if I can say this. I'm going to say it anyway, because no one chains me down. Is I heard you're working on new music and you're in the studio.
Yeah, I am. And it's going very, very well. I'm so excited. Florence and the Machine has been something so impactful in my life. I love Florence Welch, and I met Matthew Pauling through Jack met Matt Sanders and then introduced me to Matthew Pauling. And I spent a week in the studio, and we have an EP, and I was in the middle of like moving and dealing with a bunch of personal stuff while in the middle of the album, and my voice was like going out, and I was like, fuck. I was like, what am I going to do? I was like, I have this session tomorrow, like, I don't know, what am I going to, and it just broke through. I think it was a mental barrier, but I broke through that. And I honestly, Josh, I think I made the best music I've ever made in my entire life with Matthew the past couple of weeks, and I just can't wait. I can't wait for everybody to hear it. It needs a proper release.
I'm ready for it because again, I remember the first time I heard your music, Bobby Shabinsky, who was one of our mutual friends. He showed me your band when we were streaming on Space Zebra, and the first time we heard it, I was like, "This is fucking great!" And I think immediately I was like, "Let's put these guys on loud." I think we put you guys on what, Louder Than Life, correct?
Yes, yeah.
And it was like instant. I was like, love it. Let's do it. Let's go forward. It's fucking sick. So I'm excited. And I think with your influences like Florence, I'm a huge Florence fan. And especially her visuals, like her music videos and things like that are top notch. And I think she makes music that is just so powerful.
It's timeless. It's timeless.
That's that's exactly how to describe it.
I want an orchestra behind me. I'm not here for a short time. I'm here for a long time. I love music. It's my life. I have a very kindred soul, and I want to give that out to everybody around me. And I want my tours to be filled with just light. I like playing rock festivals. I love that, but timelessness is very important to me. Not that rock isn't timeless, but I think my avenue is along the lines of, the greats like Sia, Florence, Adele, Lorde, Janis Joplin.
Lorde, and with your vibe is it. I think she's done exactly what I think we all want to do as performers, is be that uncool cool, which is fucking awesome. It's so sick. Go to roadhounds.io and come hang out with me in the metaverse, while we watch live shows, we go through stores, maybe we'll give away some guitars, some drums, maybe some free root beer. Doesn't matter. Whatever you want, we're going to give it away. Go to roadhounds.io and subscribe now. Come hang out with me. Speaking of like all those bands, if you were, so again, you played Louder Than Life, a DWP festival. It was wonderful. It's rock and roll. It's everything. If you were your dream tour, who is it? Is it rock based? Is it pop based? Is it alternative based? Give me like 3 or 4 bands that you're like, I want to go on tour with these bands tomorrow.
I would love to go on tour with Chelsea Wolfe. That's one of them. Florence, 100%. And then the third, oh God, that's a hard one. Who else? I don't know. I love Avenged Sevenfold, but I'm just like wondering if I'm not sure if I would be.
I think with their new record, I think it would work well.
I think it would work well. Yeah. I would love to tour with Avenged. Yeah.
I think if it was you, Chelsea Wolfe, and Avenged on a tour, it would sell out every day.
Oh, I agree.
We should make that happen. Make some phone calls.
I think I would love that. I think so.
So I mean, I think you're a very theatrical person, and I feel on stage, what kind of persona do you want to what do you want to achieve? Like, are you trying to like be in 10-foot stilts and hang over people and have pirouettes and people spinning on fabric, or are you just on the stage raw you?
Honestly, Josh, I had this crazy idea, which PETA would not like, and it would take a lot of licensing to do. But I wanted to own a raven, and I wanted to train the raven and, nurture the raven and have the raven on my shoulder every time I performed. But I don't think that that's going to happen because, it is a bird. It's very loud. But I would love to incorporate the bird. I mean, I will have a greenhouse one day with the raven. My performances will be very theatrical, very cinematic. I want water on the stage, however I can portray that. Long, flowy dresses, like very, very long. I mean, very long, like stretching out like 10 feet behind me, just swaying in the water. I want lampposts. I want smoke. I want fire. I want fire raining down. I want hanging candles. I want birds. I want to release doves. I want to make out with my lover on a couch on stage. right. Which I don't have one right now, but I have so many different theatrical ideas for how I'm going to portray my music and how I'm going to get it out to the audience. And it's going to be a show, I'm not just going to perform. It's going to be a show.
I appreciate that so much because I'm a very I love experiences, and I think Raven Gray is an experience, and I think that's so important to people. And I think putting, again, everything's 15 seconds now. We know the TikTok world, we know all this shit. No one likes to pay attention. Everyone's
the attention span of an ant.
This big. So I think putting on a show is. I wish it wasn't so expensive, because I would love to see a lot more bands being truly themselves and being able to give, Nirvana is one thing. Flannels, stripped down, raw. It's cool. Like, that's their vibe. But when I listen to your music, I see the same shit. I think when you said water on the stage, I was like, I like that. And you don't see it very, very often. You see it once every 5 to 10 years, someone like Adele pulls that off, So I do love that, and I appreciate it. And the thing is, it's crazy, especially so a person like me, I came from nothing. I grew up in a trailer park. My first car was $50, and I got to tour, and I got to play in front of 50,000 people, 10,000 people. I got to fly to shows. I got to have fire on stage, and I've gotten to do a lot of things that I've always wanted to do. So it's awesome to see the younger generation still giving a fuck about not just the dollar, because how expensive that is to care about not only yourself but your art and the people around you, and I love that.
It's expensive. I drove to LA when I was 18 years old. I'm almost 24, and I came here with nothing. I worked in the strip club industry. I ended up in really bad situations, but I was I refused to go back to Florida. I drove from Florida all the way here, and I was like, music is my passion. The producers are here. I know what I have. I know what I can do. And here I am talking to you, and I'm sitting next to my microphone, and I know that there's a point to all of this. So sure, pyrotechnics and all that, it might cost a lot of money, but when I put that out into the universe, the manifestation of what I want to create, I'll literally think about it before I sleep. When I dream, I think about it every night. What do I want my stage presence to look like? It will come into fruition. I don't know how. I don't know where I'm going to get the resources, but it will.
I think if you keep pushing that way, it's 100%. And I think, especially for someone that drove with $0 to fucking LA, I think that shows the passion. I mean, do you think that trip and where you were for the last 6 years has really helped you and influenced your decision making when it comes to music?
Absolutely. It has influenced a lot of my writing. I've had to grow up. I've had to raise myself up, and in this city, and it's been dark, but it's influenced my music, and I've grown into this beautiful young woman that now I tend to love myself and nurture myself. But those years that I spent in LA were gnarly, and I shouldn't be alive today. I really shouldn't.
I can't imagine an 18-year-old like yourself being thrown into that mix, because I've been to LA a bunch of times, and it is, as much as it's a very beautiful place, it's a very terrible place.
It's a very scary place too, and there's producers that are very powerful, and they can take advantage of you. They can take advantage of you, and I have my wits about me, and everybody around me now respects me, and I respect them, and I feel protected. But it took, I had to go through the mud, and now at this age, I'm just unwrapping all of the trauma. I don't even remember 2 years of my life living in LA because there was so much trauma. And now I'm here in my new apartment. I still have all this laundry to do, but I'm here in my one bedroom. There's my little cat. Cute. And thank you. I love cats. And I'm like, all right, it's time to unpack all of the trauma that I inflicted, because in a way I did sacrifice a lot of myself for my dream. And I don't regret it at all, because I know that it's going to come into fruition, It
always does, and it helps. I mean, a couple of years ago, I lost my father, and I lost it. you never realize what you're doing things for or who you're doing them for until those things are kind of stripped from you, or and I don't get along with my family. They all are, I'm 34 years old and I'm straight edge. I've been straight edge since I was born. I've never touched alcohol, drugs, smoked anything, not even a cigarette. But my family, I've watched people OD on heroin. I've watched people do coke, crack, fucking drink themselves to death and all that stuff. So, but it's made me who I am today. Cute. It's made me who I am today, and the music that I've put onto the world has reflected that, and me visually has also reflected that. So I think I don't want to say it's a good thing that whatever happened to you, because I'm sure it's terrible fucking things, but it does create the character that you've now become, which is a very wonderful, and I'm very proud of you. And I think it's very cool.
Thank you. That means the world to me. Yeah. I just, music is everything to me.
And cats.
And cats.
Yeah, I have my door closed right now. So because immediately if I open it, so I have two studios. I have one at my house and then I have one at my office. And I was like, you know what? It's Halloween. So for everybody listening right now, it's actually Halloween. Me and I'm surprised that Raven wanted to do it on Halloween, and secondly that I want to do it on Halloween. But I was like, this makes the most sense. So it might be 11/1 or 11/2 that you hear this interview, but this is Halloween, and this is Raven and I's day. So
yes,
you guys are welcome for this interview, whoever's listening. But yeah, if I open my door, my cats would be jumping all over me, and I have two Sphinx cats, and they're so cute.
I have a Sphinx too.
I love the naked cats.
He's somewhere with his shirt on. Hold on, I have to get him.
Yes.
He's wearing a Dodgers shirt, even though I don't really watch baseball, but this is him.
Oh, that's a baby.
He's a baby. He doesn't like being held like that, but unless he wants to, then he'll curl up right here.
So Sphinx cats are like dogs. I don't know if you agree, but like I also have two dogs, but I wonder if I open the door, if one will come in. Hold on one second.
Let's see.
Hello.
Come here.
I heard her purring at the door before, so I wonder if she'll come up. Yes, I do love cats. It's crazy. I was never a cat person. My dad hated cats. So
same.
I grew up to not like cats at all. They're a big piece. Like, fuck cats. They're stupid. I do hate fur. So I hate getting fur off everything. So my friend had, her name is Nicole Angemi. She is a pathologist. So she has an Instagram page, which is terrifying that she is a pathologist and like cuts people up. It's wonderful. But the cat was like peeing on her kids' beds because the kids wanted to play with the cat. The cat didn't want to play with the kids. So it's like, hey, do you want this cat? And I was like, no, I don't do cats. I said, fuck cats. But and then I went to her house and like snuggled me, and I was like, I'll take the cat. I'll take the fucking cat. His name is Peep. His name is Pia Mater, which is a section of the brain, but we call him Peep. And then I fell in love with him. He's my best bud. And then a couple of years later, I got this. Someone messaged me and was like, "Hey, listen, I know you love your animals. I have this cat that I'm about to have a baby. Blah blah blah. I don't know if it's a good thing for the baby." And I was like, you know what? I'll go to this house and make sure that it's not getting like abused. But I'm not going to take the cat. I'm not going to take the cat. I just want to make sure it's not getting abused. I walk in the door. The cat jumps on my shoulder and like starts like nuzzling. And I was like, motherfucker.
You were like, oh God, it's fine. It's over.
I took the cat, and now her name is Moon, and she's a baby, and she's so cute, and she loves it. So if I'm sitting here, like the reason my camera's up here is because she sits in my hand, and I hold her as I'm like in meetings and stuff like that. If I'm at home,
I love that.
So
they're
cute.
So special. They've gotten me through so many dark time, and they know when you're sad, they know when you're hurting. They're very intelligent animals, whereas dogs are kind of fucking stupid, let's be real.
Hey, they are stupid, but they're cute.
They're cute. I love them. They're also like toddlers, like you have to do a lot more work, but I want like 3 Dobermans. I want to be that bitch who like carries like the 3 Dobermans.
That'd be cool. That'd be cool as fuck, honestly.
with like my 10-foot dress like flowing on the gravel pavement behind me.
All right, so tell Jack tomorrow that you need a photo shoot. A stat, 3 Dobermans.
All right.
That's your album art right there.
Sounds like it.
3 Dobermans and a long wedding dress. Come on.
Yeah, that's sick.
You know what you should do? I think I picture you like on a big giant. So you'd be on this giant platform, right? But you wouldn't see the platform because your dress comes all the way down it. So it looks like you're 20 feet tall, but it's actually this giant dress that's billowing down. Yeah. You have like a low-lying fog machine coming out under it.
Oh yeah.
We need to talk. I need to make this happen for you.
Thank you.
Because that gets me excited. Like production gets me super excited.
Yeah, it gets me excited too.
Like so when I was in Motionless, I was like, I loved playing and I loved playing music, but like being able to tinker like behind the scenes was like, so when we were selling like 100 tickets, maybe like 300 tickets, I used to have this hydraulic riser. So it was like a 4x4 platform that actually rose up and turned and stuff. Because I played this, anybody that doesn't know who I am that's listening to this, I used to play keyboards in a band called Motionless and White. So I used to have this giant riser that come up and rise and spin and shit like that. And I had my friend build it, and venues hated me because I'd be like lifting this giant thing on these stages that were probably the size of a bedroom. And they're like, what the fuck is wrong? But that's what we wanted. Like we would make all of our props ourselves. Like
so sick.
We would have cemetery gates that me and Chris, the singer, his dad, Chris and his dad would be like cutting out gates and fencing and putting pumpkins on them and going like Halloween City and getting like pumpkin and carving their faces and putting them on stage and putting lights inside. Like that's what we did because we were like super DIY and broke as fuck. So I'm actually proud of them that they actually seeing their live show now. I'm just like, man, I remember we were building stuff in a fucking basement to try to pull on stage. So
I fucking love Motionless and White.
They're a very giant part of my life, and I would never take anything away from that. I mean, I quit a few years ago, and it's still a giant piece of my life, and it was so wonderful. And I love those guys so much, and I hope they fucking win a Grammy this year. I hope they get that nomination, or at least, and I hope they get all those great things because it's great. You know, we're from Northeast Pennsylvania. We're from nowhere. And it's wonderful to see people succeed, even if I'm not a part of it. And just as much as I want to see you succeed. And I think what you're doing is the same track that I've been down. And I can see it in the passion of it's just fucking hard work.
Yeah, it's hard work. It's strife. It's perseverance. And thank you for saying that.
You're very welcome. You know what, to be honest, to wrap up this interview, I just want to talk about, I just want you to be happy.
Thank you.
That's it. It sounds simple, and it isn't simple, but that's it.
Yeah, I want to be happy too. You know, I deal with a lot of depression and stuff like that, but you know, I know it'll pass. I know, like, you know, sometimes I wish it could be 3 years down the line and I'm touring and I have a family at home, or at least like somebody to call home because my family's so far. But you know, like having this interview with you and just being able to have that experience at Louder Than Life, that like cures my depression and it gives me hope.
Well, I mean, that's what we're here for. I mean, that's what I joined with Roadhounds because like I didn't want to stop doing what I was doing. I think, you know, moving those things and these guys and people at Roadhounds, they're like, hey, we want to help people grow. And there's nobody that's helping smaller bands grow and be happy and enjoy themselves and tour. So I in the near future, you're going to see a lot of my face trying to help you get to wherever the fuck you want to go. And that goes for everybody listening. You know, me as a host, like if everybody succeeds, we all succeed. I mean, it's wonderful. Like if you go and sell 10 million records, but you're like, hey, Josh Balls interviewed me. It was wonderful. I can't wait to let him, you know, introduce me on a stage in front of 100,000 people. That would mean the world to me.
Yeah.
So I appreciate you so much. And to be honest, anything you ever need, feel free to bother the fuck out of me.
Thank you. I will. I appreciate that.
Hey guys, it's your friendly neighborhood Josh Balls just here telling you that I have a new show coming out. It's going to be called Headbangers Havoc, and it's going to be on Roadhounds. And you can find it there. What we're going to do is we're going to give away a ton of shit all day, every day. We're going to go live. We're going to do pre-tape interviews. Basically, what we want to do is when you're hanging out at a festival, you only get 4 days with your friends. It's terrible. What we're going to do is we're going to bring that vibe to you 365 days a year, and it's going to be incredible. Not only for bands, but anybody that enjoys bands. So make sure you come check it out. Roadhounds.io. I'll catch you there. Make sure you subscribe.